Global Wrestling Federation. You enjoying the action here in the Global Dome, Brandon?
Yes, very exciting.
Now, your family said that you also wanted to be a professional wrestler. All right. Now, tell me about your question for one of the stars here at the GWF.
Well, it's for Al Perez. You're a former world champion. Do you think that helps you in this tournament?
All right, good question. The North American tournament taking place, and we are going to be answering Brandon's question later in this edition when I go and get Al Perez and see what the Latin heartthrob has to say.
Tampa, Florida, Al Perez.
And there you see the Latin heartthrob getting ready for the playoff match against the man from Bad Street.
And his opponent for this very important competition from Bad Street, USA, at 270 pounds, Terry Bam Bam Gordy.
Terry Gordy against Al Perez, the playoff match in the North American Heavyweight Championship Tournament of the Global Wrestling Federation.
Bonnie Blackstone back here in the Global Dome with Al Perez. It was noted by one of our fans earlier that, in fact, you are a former world champion. You have that to your credit, and they want to know if this is going to help you here in this North American Championship Tournament.
Well, you know something, Bonnie? When you're recognized all over the world as a world champion, that means all promoters from all over call you because they know when you step in that ring, you're nothing but business. You take the match to heart. You make people know what it feels like to be a professional wrestler. I've held more titles than most anybody in the sport of wrestling today. The only reason is because I don't quit. I don't give up. I get somebody in the ring and I destroy them. I make their tongue hang down to their knees. Their lungs collapse because there's no oxygen flowing because all they feel is Perez, the Latin heartthrob, pounding away on them, pounding. Can't wait to get out of the ring with me because when I finish, they wish they played darts instead of wrestling.
Championship. The winner of this belt will be the challenger for the Global Heavyweight Championship belt. And this man, the TV champion, the Patriot, could very well, as we all know, be that North American champion. Now, the question is, what will that mean to the Patriot, and how about the TV belt?
Well, it would mean an awful lot because anytime you're involved in any type of athletic endeavor, man, in professional wrestling, your goal is to go to the top, and that's what we're here for. And that's what all these other Patriots are behind me for, is to go straight to the top. Now, if that problem does present itself about the TV belt, well, that's a great problem to have. And that'll just be up to the powers to be in the global office.
All right, well, it would be a very interesting situation. Could one man handle holding two belts? What if two title defenses came up on the same night? Have you ever thought about that?
Well, that's the price you have to pay, Joe. You know, we're in this thing to win. And if we have to do that, if we have to defend two belts in one night, well, we've got enough people out here behind us. We've got enough Patriots all across this country. We can get the job done.
Finals of the light heavyweight tournament. I am here with Jerry Lynn from Minneapolis, Minnesota. He will be going into the final match. He drew the bye thanks to that coin toss. And Jerry, I know that you're very excited to be here in the GWF.
It's great. I'm so excited, Joe. I'd just like to thank the GWF for having a light heavyweight division. There are a lot of wrestling organizations that don't have it.
All right. Now, you have a distinct honor, you might say, here in this tournament also.
Yeah, I had the honor of beating the only man in the light heavyweight tournament who was over the allotted weight.
Right. Randy Rhodes was not exactly 236 pounds, if you ask me. Now, in the final match, you'll be taking on the Lightning Kid, and I know that you know this man, and this ought to be a great match.
Yes, I've wrestled him quite a few times, and he is an excellent wrestler, and he's deceiving how he looks in the ring, but he is an excellent wrestler, and everyone's going to find out.
He does have to use some cheating tactics every once in a while, though, that I don't think he should have to, but we'll find out. The final match is coming up. It's the Lightning Kid against Jerry Lynn when we come back.
Backbone Wrestling Network, welcome to a very special episode of the Hands of Z 27.5, where I feel like my friend Keith, hi Keith, how are you?
Hey buddy.
I feel like my friend Keith and I talk about a promotion that nobody ever fucking talks about. Like, I know it's been brought up on our shows before, but I'm like, oh man, what a great episode this will be, because we're going global, Keith. We are going global.
This is actually, it's funny you bring this up because this is one of those kind of, I feel like this is one of those like jokes that I have with Pete where we always talk about global because, and I just want to say real quickly that my introduction to global has gone, and it's so funny because as I'm watching these matches, all I'm thinking about is like me going, so there was my little corner convenience store when I was growing up. It was called Robinson's News Agency. It was down the street from my house, right? It was actually, my brother worked there when he was like a kid. So I used to go in and they used to have all of the Bill Apter mags. They had Inside Wrestling, they had The Wrestler, they had Pro Wrestling Illustrated, and those were the magazines that they sold. They also had WWF Magazine, but I didn't get that all the times because I liked reading about Memphis. I liked reading about WCW. I liked reading about AWA or World Class.
Yeah, the territories. Yeah.
And I loved reading about Global. I was obsessed with this company that I had no way of watching it. I had no way of knowing.
You didn't have ESPN?
I didn't know that was on ESPN. I just didn't know. But like I literally in my Hasbro wrestlers, I took one of my wrestlers, I made the Patriot. I had the Dark Patriot. I was a fucking Doug Gilbert fan.
Did you make a Handsome Stranger? Marcus Bagwell. First time I ever saw Marcus Bagwell in a ring. Handsome Stranger.
I was obsessed. And I swear Bill Apter had a piece of Global. Like he may have been like a silent partner.
Pedicino was very big. Yeah.
They talked about Global constantly in all those Apter magazines. It was amazing. So
Pedicino and Scott Hudson were.
Oh my God, young Scott Hudson.
Yeah.
I was obsessed with this. So you telling us we're going to do this, I am fucking over the moon. I have a raging fucking Global hard on right now.
That's amazing. So let's talk about Global Wrestling Federation. Let me give you some context. GWF debuted on June 28, 1991 in Dallas, Texas, and they quickly established the North American Heavyweight Championship to be its premier singles title. To determine the inaugural champion, GWF officials organized a 23-wrestler tournament held at the Dallas Sportatorium on August 9th through 10th, 1991. The tournament was spread across 2 nights with opening round and quarterfinal matches taking place on August 9th, and the semifinals contested on August 10th and the final. Because the field did not fit a standard tournament, several wrestlers received buys in the later rounds. Okay?
Yes.
So think about it. A standard single elimination tournament usually has 8, 16, and 32. The GWF did a 32 one. Defended primarily at the historic Dallas Sportatorium, the championship was held by several notable stars. You ready for some of these guys?
Go on.
Eddie Gilbert, who we both love. Mm-hmm. Stevie fucking Ray.
Yeah.
Chris Adams and Rod Price. And Rod Price held the title more than anyone with 3 reigns. The title represented one of the last major championships in the historic Dallas wrestling scene before the GWF folded in September of 1994. Mm-hmm. And just another note, the GWF is what replaced AWA on ESPN and TV. They had a weekly show on 5 days a week.
And I think we should also say that Global is what replaced World Class.
World Class, right.
Yeah.
Correct. Well, actually, it replaced USWA. Because World Class had already become USW. All right. Yeah. So are you ready to hear about this tournament? There's a just a cavalcade of stars in this. You ready for this?
Yes.
All right. The first round, the Patriot defeated the Soul Taker. You know who the Soul Taker was?
I do.
Who is the Soul Taker?
It's the fucking voodoo master himself, Papa Shango.
All right. So he defeated the Soul Taker. The second match, Access the Demolisher. Access the Demolisher defeated Terry Garvin. Do you know who Access the Demolisher is?
Hall of Famer. Acts of Demolition, Bill Eadie.
Yeah, so he left and he went to the he wasn't around very long. No. Steve Cox beat Rod Price. Stan Lane, after leaving NWA with Jim Cornette, defeated Action Jackson. Al Perez defeated the Handsome Stranger, who would go on to be Marcus
Alexander Bagwell.
John Tatum defeated Jeff Gaylord.
Four-time, Jesus Christ, I'm getting phone calls. 4-time WCW Rookie of the Year, Marcus Alexander Bagwell.
Unbelievable. Bad News Brown defeated El Azteca. Dirty White Boy defeated Austin Idol. Cactus Jack beat Gary Young.
You are literally just naming just Hall of Famer after Hall of Famer right here.
Brian Lee, the fake Undertaker, beat Bill Irwin.
Brian Lee was huge in this company.
Steve Dane beat Tugboat Taylor.
That's not the Tugboat.
And Terry Bam Bam Gordy beat Randy Rhodes, whose gimmick was like a T-Moo Dusty Rhodes. All right. Second round, the Patriot defeated Axis the Demolisher.
Yes.
Stan Lane defeated Steve Cox.
Mm-hmm.
Al Perez beat John Tatum.
Yep.
Bad News Brown lost to Austin Idol.
Ah.
Cactus Jack beat Brian Lee.
Yep.
And then Terry Gordy beat Steve Dane. So now we're getting into the semifinals. You ready?
Mm-hmm.
The Patriot beat Steve Lane.
Yep.
Al Perez beat Austin Idol. And Cactus Jack lost to Terry Bam Bam Gordy. So this sets up your semifinal match of Terry Gordy taking on Al Perez. And the Patriot gets a bye.
Yeah.
The other thing is, at this time, Patriot had won the GWF TV title, so he is also the TV champion. Yes. And you know who he beat for that title? Because we're going to talk about it on our next episode.
Go on.
Buddy Landell.
Ah.
So remember, Patriot right now is your TV champion, and so we'll get into it. So your first, so this is the main. So we watched both these matches: Perez versus Gordy, and then the final. So Terry Gordy versus Al Perez. We open with a Bonnie Backstone interview with a kid asking Al, who's not there, if being a former world champ gives him the advantage. You have to wait for the answer. It comes later. So this is one of those matches that if you look at it on paper, you have two former territory champions. Al Perez has been a world-class champion. Bam Bam was the UWF champion. And I think this is kind of like sets up. So these are somewhat big names to be here, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
So the opening, Perez slows everything down. The match starts with Al Perez locking a side headlock, and he absolutely refuses to let go. Commentary, I think, does a good job. They talk about Terry Gordy's success teaming with Dr. Death in Japan. I'm surprised we didn't have Dr. Death here. That would have been good. Gordy repeatedly tries to throw Perez off into the ropes, but Perez keeps holding the hold. Gordy tries grabbing the legs, changing the leverage, anything he can think of. Perez even hops around on one leg while maintaining the headlock. Gordy targets the leg when he finally gets the advantage, when Gordy finally creates separation. Gordy drops Perez, leg across his knee, quickly transitions into a figure four. Gordy rocks back and forth, adding pressure. Perez eventually reverses the hold, and Gordy reaches the ropes for the break. One nice touch is that both men begin selling the damage with our thought because they're both limping around.
Yep.
Perez takes control. Perez shifts to a more aggressive attack, punches Gordy in the head, kicks him in the gut, drives the knee into his face, and repeatedly drops knees across Gordy's throat like Gordy is draped over the ropes. He then forces Gordy onto the apron and does one of the more unusual spots of the match. He gets on all fours and he launches a headbutt into Gordy. Gordy barely hangs on, and then Perez headbutts him again, and Gordy finally crashes to the floor. Later in the match, Perez finally gets into a side headlock. The pace drops considerably, and Gordy fights back and eventually counters in his sleeper hold. Then Perez escapes, immediately boots Gordy in the head while he's setting up the finish. The final stretch becomes boots, punches, forearms, both men trading shots. Gordy starts taking over. He corners Perez and yanks him out of the turnbuckle onto his back. The referee gets caught between them. The official goes down. Gordy is trying to continue to attack. Perez bails outside, and the referee rules that Gordy is responsible for the contact. Yep. Al Perez wins via DQ. Pretty flat finish for me. Gordy looks strong, but Perez advances himself. What did you think of the match before I go to the post?
It's odd. It's odd with like seeing Terry Gordy and not seeing him either just being a brutally
right.
You know, because I'm used to Terry Gordy in either his role as the Freebird or in the the Miracle Violence Connection or whatever, like, you know, that team. So it's like it's hard for me to see him as like an actual wrestler. Like seeing him do a figure four was kind of really it was weird because I'm just not used to it. But it was still good. I mean, this wasn't a bad match. Al Perez, every time I see him, I just can't help but think that he's Seth Rollins' dad.
I've always found Al Perez so fucking boring. Like, he's boring. He's boring as fuck.
Okay.
Like, I haven't watched an Al Perez match that I love.
Wow. All right. I mean, I'm not going to say I have. I don't think I've watched a ton of Al Perez matches. But...
So what'd you go on this match?
I think I went like the ending was right. The ending was kind of like iffy at best. I don't like that. I don't like having shitty matches, especially this high up in a tournament, be like kind of like a shitty ending. So I think I went like 2.5. I feel like
2.5. I'd probably go 2.25.
Yeah, it was good. I like the figure four spot. I liked how you said like I like when they both were showing the the injuries, kind of like that kind of thing, like wear and tear. I like that. But I mean, yeah, this isn't anything flashy in the pan. There was no big power moves. There wasn't anything cool like.
I thought Gordy should have won. I think Gordy versus Patriot would have been a better final, in my opinion.
Well, I'm trying to think. Is Gordy kind of?
I think Gordy's kind of. I think he's kind of in and done. For this, that's probably why. because Perez sticks around for a little while.
Well, he's also like they were talking about how he's half of like the Triple Crown champion. So
yeah,
I
he's
mean,
with Japan. He talked about him and
he's,
Dr.
so he's already in Japan. So I guess like maybe it's less of a foregone conclusion when you have a Japanese guy in there in a tournament final. Whereas
yeah,
Perez,
but he still could have lost. He still could have won, and it would have been a good final for the Patriot and really put him over beating Gordy.
Yeah,
so.
that's true.
Anyway, post-match, we get 2 post-match interviews. We eventually go back to the Al Perez question, Bonnie Blackstone, but before that, we get a Patriot promo where he discussion center around what happens if the Patriot wins the North American title. What happens in the TV title? His response is simple. Every wrestler wants to reach the top. Winning another championship is a goal. Having 2 belts would be a good problem to have. When asked about potentially defending both titles on the same night, Patriot goes full superhero. We've got enough Patriots all across the country. We can get the job done. So pretty funny. And then you go back to Al Perez answering an early question. If being a world champion gives him an advantage in the tournament, Perez gets to answer. So he basically says, instead of sounding like a dangerous veteran who just survived Terry Gordy, he comes across somewhat flat and uninspiring. He goes, that's always been the knock on me. He's good. He says he's got a good look, good worker, strong credentials, but he's not a good talker. So he basically says what worked. Gordy's leg, the figure 4, both men selling. Like he talks about what didn't work in all this, but his promo was terrible. Yeah. Absolutely terrible. So the tournament has essentially become the Patriot, the charismatic TV champion, and an Al Perez, the experienced veteran who can't talk for shit. It's fucking terrible. I hate Al Perez. Just FYI.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah. His feud with Nikita Koloff in the NWA was fucking terrible too.
Okay.
You don't have that Al Perez hate, huh?
I don't have Al Perez hate, but I also don't have Al Perez love. So I mean, you're not going to get.
See, I got lost in my recap being pissed off at him, so I'm going to leave that in.
That's okay. You're allowed to have feelings.
Anyway, yeah, I have feelings. Anyway, so here we go. Patriot versus Perez. The finals for the GWF North American title. So the opening minutes, the match starts slowly with repeated side headlocks. Perez gets control of the headlock. Patriot escapes and gets a headlock. Perez gets another headlock. Patriot gets another headlock. The crowd is patient, but the pace is very slow. I'm not happy with the match so far. The best moment of the early portion comes when Perez has a headlock applied and Patriot simply muscles him up and sends him stumbling out to the floor, showing Patriot was a beast. He was built like shit. Yep. Meanwhile, the commentary keeps doing heavy lifting by reminding viewers Patriots' tournament run has been impressive. Perez is a veteran. Patriots' knee has been a story throughout the tournament. Perez eventually takes over after another lengthy Patriot headlock. Perez finally has enough. Perez fights free with punches. He sends Patriot crashing into a turnbuckle, then another. Perez starts working with much more aggression than we've seen up to this point. He lands a high kick the commentary puts over his tremendous display of flexibility. Who gives a fuck, Perez?
Yay!
From there, Perez chokes Patriot across the ropes, delivers knees, forearms, the back of the neck, works the shoulders and upper back, keeps Patriot trapped in the corner. The crowd begins chanting USA, which I don't really understand because Perez is not necessarily a foreign gimmick, but that's okay. This is probably the strongest sustained segment of the match because Perez is finally wrestling like he wants to win a world title rather than just a fucking headlock. Patriot finally fires up. Perez misses in the corner, and Patriot finally gets an opening. Patriot blocks a charge, fires back with punches, lands another punch, then another. Perez is staggered. Patriot sends him to the ropes, drop kick. Perez gets back up. Patriot sends him into the ropes again with a backdrop. The crowd starts responding because it finally feels like the Patriot's about to win. Then here's the finish. This is where this match completely falls fucking apart. The action spills out towards the rope and eventually the floor area. Patriot ends up outside the ring. Perez comes over looking to capitalize and continue the attack. As Perez approaches, Patriot drives a headbutt into Perez's stomach through the ropes. Both men ended up tangled in the ropes. In the process, Perez's legs become wrapped up and trapped in a rope in an incredibly awkward-looking position. Yeah. Patriot basically falls on top of him. The ref drops down 1, 2, 3. That's the finish. Not a dramatic finishing move. Not a hard-fought sequence. Just a decisive climax to the tournament, which was freaking shady as fuck. Just Patriot falling on top of him. It comes off incredibly hokey. It completely undercuts the importance of the tournament to me. Instead of the audience, like this match, this ending fucking sucks, Keith. So what did you think of the match before I talk about the post-interview?
I agree. I agree. Yeah, the match is not great. I mean, I will, as going back and rewatching, or not even going back, but thinking back to like what the Patriot, like what Del Wilkes ended up doing as far as like going to WCW and then going to WWF.
By the way, I want to remind you how good he was in that match with Larry Zybyszko as the Trooper rewatch. Just FYI.
No. Yeah. I think that you know what? It's funny too how blown up he is. Like, and just he's yoked here. He was yoked as the trooper too, but like
very yoked here. Yes,
it's funny because like Al Perez isn't yoked. I feel like all of GWF's budget for steroids went to the Patriots.
Wow.
But it's the finish is fucking terrible. The finish is terrible, and it's terrible for one main reason: is at the 1.5 count, Patriots are like, oh, his foot's on the right. Like, you're that much of a fucking goody two shoe that you're gonna sit there and go, no. Like, if you're that much of a goody two shoe, get up off of the guy. Don't fucking tell the referee that his foot's on the rope. Get up. It took me so out of it. It was fucking stupid, and it just reminds me of like just this so super white meat baby face Del Wilkes, and just like how that gimmick is going to come off as such a fucking clown, and why a guy like Kurt Angle was such a great overhaul of like a patriotic gimmick, because when Kurt comes out, he's an Olympic gold medalist, but he immediately becomes a dick. And that's exactly what like the Patriot should have been, as he should have been like, he was like a good guy, but he should have been like a dick about being a good guy.
He should have became the Dark Patriot.
Yeah.
That would have been a good gimmick, right?
Yeah.
As he turned heel, baby.
Because it's this ridiculous white meat baby face that like is just so cheesy and fucking stupid. Like, and then the I don't want to go on the post-match interview, but go ahead. So
what'd you go on the match?
I mean, this match, I don't know, 2, 1.5, 1.75. It's just, it's not, it didn't look like it was getting going. And then once it got going, it was fucking over, and the ending was fucking terrible. So I didn't love it. For a tournament final, it was fucking stupid.
Yeah. So anyway, he does a post-match interview where he basically talks about, oh, I'm the winner. He'll get a rematch. Like, it was just a total, like, for somebody that claims that he didn't like the hooky finish, you made up a good point. I think if he really felt that way, they should have restarted the match, right? I think that's what would have probably been a better ending. Then he could have pinned him decisively. Wouldn't you agree?
Yes.
Okay.
1,000%.
What did you go on this match?
I told you what I went on this match.
Well, I didn't hear you. What'd you say?
Oh, I'm sorry. I think I went like 1.5.
It's exactly what I did. I went 1.5 stars. It never reaches the level of drama, the endless headlocks, because I know you love your headlocks.
The ending is fucking stupid. The ending is garbage.
Right. So eventually, here's what happened. The Patriot defeats Al Perez. He got his decision overturned. So Patriot, in the end, does refuse to accept the win, and he vacates the title on August 16th. They have a rematch that's held on August 23rd, 1991, where the Patriot again defeats Al Perez, which I don't know why they needed to do that to begin with. So the Patriot then has to vacate the TV title on 8/23. And do you know who wins the TV title when he vacates his title?
Michael P.S. Hayes.
Eddie Gilbert beat Handsome Stranger in a 6-man tournament.
He beat Marcus Alexander back.
He sure did. He
beat the future tag team partner of the Patriot?
He sure did. Yeah, it's pretty funny. He sure
ridiculous.
Did. Do you know who the last GWF North American champion was?
Eddie Gilbert.
Chris Adams.
Oh, okay.
So like I said, on our next episode, we will talk about the original TV title tournament. So we'll talk about that on the next 0.5 episode. All right. So overall, the tournament had some good stars in it. Quasi okay semifinals. The finals absolutely sucked ass. So anyway, all right. Are you ready to talk about our next tournament?
Oh my God, yes. And,
okay.
And you'll be surprised to hear what I have to say about a certain individual in this.
I don't know if I'll be surprised, but anyway, this is our tournament for the GWF light heavyweight title. You know what's great about this? I think the GWF, like, this is before the WCW light heavyweight. Like, this is the first time, Keith.
Yes.
Like, a major promotion put a light heavyweight title into it. So that immediately got me going right away. And well, not really, because World Class had a light heavyweight title, but it wasn't as focal pointed, right? It wasn't as pushed.
Yeah.
So what do you think?
It's talked about because Jerry Lynn talks about it in his pre-match interview.
Yeah, we'll cover that.
Yeah.
So here's context. The GWF light heavyweight champion was a secondary title in Dallas-based Global Wrestling Federation. And it was there all the way till the promotion ended. It was great. The GWF, what they were trying to do was build a division around lighter, faster, more athletic wrestlers at a time when most American wrestlers was more about the heavyweights. Like I said, it was introduced in July of 1991 through a tournament that was ultimately won by someone we'll talk about here shortly, two major stars in the end of this, and because both guys went on to bigger and better things, which is also cool when you look at it in retrospect.
Yep.
Over the next 3 years after this, the championship became a proving ground for some of the most talented wrestlers in the promotion. So Alex Porteau held it a record 4 times. Barry Horowitz held it.
No.
Future international star Asamu Nishimura held it also. The title changed hands frequently, and there was 7 vacancies along the way, which reflected the reality of independent wrestling because people would come and go too much.
Yeah.
What's fascinating about this, it arrived before cruiserweight wrestling became a major attraction, long before the WCW cruiserweight division. Like this title kind of became the foundation for future titles. So that's kind of a cool moment in time for them.
Yeah.
All right. You ready to hear who's in this tournament?
Please.
God, the Handsome Strangers and everything. The Handsome Stranger beat Butch Blackheart.
Stranger.
This is like the most hokey tournament. There's not a lot of good people in this.
No.
Rip Rogers beat Ray Evans. Chaz beat Ed Robinson.
Is that Chaz, like Chaz, like from...
No. This is Tugboat Taylor's son, Chaz. He's another one that looks like he shouldn't be a wrestler. He's like...
Not Chaz from...
No. From the Headbangers, no.
Okay.
Bubba Fangman lost to the Lightning Kid, which we'll talk about here in a little bit. Bubba Fangman. You know who Bubba Fangman is?
Is he Bubba Rogers?
I have no idea who the fuck he is. John Tatum is not a fucking light heavyweight.
That's one of the things that's talked about in this is that there's a couple of people that
there's a couple of people that aren't even
barely made it.
Terry Garvin beat Kenny the Stinger.
Terry Garvin.
There's another. He was Beauty and Beauty and the Beast. He's a separate Terry Garvin.
Oh. Okay.
Terry Daniels beat Rick Guerin.
Be honest, you don't even know who 90% of these people are.
I know who Terry Daniels is. Private Terry Daniels.
Yeah.
Jerry Lynn beat Randy Rhodes, who was the Team New Dusty Rhodes, and he had that same gimmick as Buddy Rose, where he would say he weighed a certain amount.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did you mention Adrian Street and Iceman King Parsons?
No, we're getting to that.
Okay.
We're getting there. Mike Davis beat Victor Gonzalez. Brian Adidas beat El Bandolero. Adrian Street beat Iceman King Parsons. Neither one of these guys are cruiserweights.
Iceman King Parsons.
Right. And then Steve Simpson beat Mike Stenson. So a lot of these guys aren't, All right, so we'll go on to the next one. So the Handsome Stranger beat Rip Rogers.
Yeah.
Lightning Kid beat Chaz.
Yep.
John Tatum beat Terry Garvin. Jerry Lynn beat Terry Daniels.
Yep.
Mike Davis beat Adias.
Yep.
And Simpson beat Adrian Street. Now we're getting into the semifinals. The Handsome Stranger lost to the Lightning Kid. Jerry Lynn beat John Tatum, and Steve Simpson beat Mike Davis. So now you have your 3 folks that are in the tournament final. So what did you think of some of the names in this?
I mean, first of all, it is funny, the light heavyweight, because they do talk about how they had to extend the weight class a little bit, and that like some of these people were like, I mean, I think it wasn't 205, it was like 237 or something like that was the weight.
They did. Yep.
So that makes sense why some of these people are in this tournament. It sounds to me like the reason why they were in this tournament was because they just wanted to have more people.
Stars, more known
They
stars,
wanted more people, and they weren't going to be getting many people in this if they had stuck to like a 205 live or something like that. So very odd. I also didn't understand that huge like the fact that like Jerry Lynn had a coin toss, and it was like a weird what was that all about?
So that was to decide who would go to the final versus not, I think.
Yeah.
So I played Jerry's interview before this show. So you'll hear his pre-match interview in this.
Yeah.
So, all right. So let's get into this. So Steve Simpson, by the way, do you know who Steve Simpson is?
No. Who's Steve Simpson?
He is a former world-class light heavyweights champion. He's a former world-class tag team champion with his brother, Shawn.
Oh, okay. Oh, I know Shawn Simpson.
He's very well known in Texas. So this for a Texas crowd, this is,
I had no idea.
All right. So the first finals match is Steve Simpson versus a light heavyweight Lightning Kid.
Yes.
Who is the Lightning Kid?
Come on. We all know who the Lightning Kid is.
He's the man
who spent one night in China.
He is Sean Waltman. So very early, my first look ever at Sean Waltman, ever. When this was on, this is the first time I'd ever seen the Lightning Kid. And my first time I saw him, I'm like, who the fuck is this anorexic looking guy?
I think he's like 19 years old at this
Unbelievable.
point.
So, all right, so let's talk about it. So, obviously Sean would go on. He'd obviously go on to be the 1-2-3 kid. So, which is amazing. And I think that his time in Global is what got him signed over there, by the way, just FYI.
Of course.
All right, so the match starts hot as Lightning Kid jumps Simpson right before the bell, trying to overwhelm the bigger and more experienced wrestler. Simpson doesn't stay down long, though, quickly taking control and showing why he's a veteran, actually. Almost immediately, he breaks out a jackhammer suplex, which is pretty unique time at the era. They could do it in a jackhammer. From there, Simpson goes into a technical attack, repleting, working a front facelock and grinding away at Lightning Kid. He hits another jackhammer suplex and again gets a 2 count. Then starts focusing on the arm and the upper body. The arm work is probably one of the best parts of Simpson's performance here. He's not just throwing moves; he's constantly attacking, so he's sticking to it. Kid sells very well. Every twist, every wrench, every transition, he looks like he's in pain. The match then turns into a really fun technical exchange. Kid escapes and reverses the arm control, even using a position to choke Simpson briefly. Simpson's answers with a full Nelson, then transitions out of it, doing into a flipping snapmare, and then a rolling pin with his legs for another close fall. The announcers also provide some comedy, including the ridiculous jokes about Kid looking like he should be home before curfew. I thought that was pretty funny. The commentators are basically selling what a tiny person the Lightning Kid is, which I thought was funny, but they also do a good job talking about his athletic ability. Simpson continues dominating with a body slam, elbow drop, and more control. Kid gets judo background, gets mentioned several times, and you can see it in his counters and quick movements. The match does fall into kind of that early 90s tournament style where there are a lot of headlocks and chin locks, but unlike some of the other ones, they keep mixing in like creativity to keep it moving. One of the coolest spots is Simpson turning a headlock into an underhood suplex. I thought that was good. Lightning Kid finally gets a chance to shine, escapes, and hitting a great spin kick that looks way ahead of its time. I thought that was really good. He's a rookie, but he looks really, really good, and he's very fast and explosive. The bigger risk comes when Kid heads to the top rope and attempts a somersault dive. Something you didn't really see at the time. Unfortunately, he misses when Simpson moves out of the way, and Simpson immediately goes back to punishing him. Simpson goes up top later for a cross-body attempt, and this time the younger wrestler gets the advantage. Kid rolls through, grabs the tights, and steals the victory. The Lightning Kid's with a dirty 3 count. I actually like the finish because it doesn't beat Steve Simpson straight. Also kind of cements the Kid as like kind of a heel. Yeah. But he survives, he cheats, he advances. Again, like knowing he's like the skinny, cocky heel who looked like a teenager, and what he goes on to be is incredible when you watch this. So here's my match thoughts. I thought it was a good showcase for Simpson. I thought the Lightning Kid looked great. The contrast between Powerhouse and Skinny Kid was good. The finish protected Simpson. I thought it was a really fun time capsule match. I went 2.5 stars on it. It wasn't like over the top. I went 2.5 on this. What'd you think?
I mean, I would even go two and 3/4.
I could see it. I could see it.
Yeah. I mean, if I could, I'll do 2 3/4 because I don't know. I felt like, and it's funny because this is only like 7.5 minutes long. I don't even know if I would give it any more, but I feel like if you gave it 30 seconds more, you could have probably pushed it to 3 stars.
Not the first time I wish someone would push 30 seconds more, at least what I've heard about me. So.
Speaking of dirty, do you happen to know? Do you know And the only reason I say this is because he's kind of famous. He was like a famous porn star in the 80s. His name is Tom Byron.
No, I know John Holmes. I think everybody knows John Holmes.
If you and you can Google Tom Byron, it's safe.
I am not Googling anything.
If you look at Tom Byron, he looks like fucking Sean Waltman. I swear to God.
I am not Googling any of that shit.
Tom Byron in the 80s looks like Sean Waltman in the 80s. It's so funny. Like
super skinny.
Yeah, he's skinny. He's kind of got that weird face like Sean Waltman has. It's kind of funny. Anyway, Tom Byron's claim to fame is he was around like when Tracy Lords was still wrestling, was still doing things. So yeah, but I didn't realize Lightning Kid was a heel. To be honest with you, I never knew he was a heel, and probably because he came in and he was a babyface.
That match,
no pun intended, he's a babyface, but like I didn't realize he was a heel. So
this tournament's the first time I'd ever seen him, and he wrestled like a heel in every single match. So.
Yeah.
So kind of a cool look there. I like it. So now we're going to get to our finals. And Jerry Lynn, who we all know, obviously from ECW, he's an agent at AEW. He's got a really good run too. It's fascinating because both these guys go on to bigger, better things. These guys also had a fantastic feud. And this was part of the aftermags you brought up earlier, which I love. They were predominantly featured in the aftermags. In a feud they were doing the PWA promotion in Minnesota. So they knew each other.
Jerry Lynn, this match here makes me want to go back and find every Jerry Lynn match and watch it, because Jerry Lynn just looks so fucking good in this. And you know what? It's not the first time that I've thought that too, because like every time I happen to come across something that Jerry Lynn is in, I'm like,
he's amazing.
He's so good.
So before the match, Lynn talks about their past history, which is great. Wanted to prove himself.
Joe Pedicino.
Yes, with Joe Pedicino. And then out of the blue, you get this interview with Foreman Norman the Lunatic.
Yes!
Mocking Singh and the mysterious cartel angle. That was a big, huge angle in the like somebody ran the cartel.
Where he chews out fucking Bonnie Blackstone and calls
her
peroxide bimbo.
What I love is the Global created the NWO before the NWA came along with the cartel.
Sure.
You know who was in the cartel?
Makan Singh.
Cactus Jack. Raven.
Raven.
They had
not Raven. Scotty
the Body.
Scotty the Body, yeah.
So Global, I would have to say Global's ahead of its time if you really think about it.
Do they ever come out and is Doug
It's the owner. It's the owner. Max somebody was the owner.
Is Doug Gilbert in the cartel?
No. The cartel doesn't last very long. It kind of goes downhill pretty easy. All right, so you want to talk about the match?
Yeah.
Finals for the light heavyweight title. Match begins with Jerry Lynn focusing on the arm, taking Lightning Kid down and repeatedly attacking it. Lynn uses classic mat wrestling to include arm bars and hammer locks. While the commentary points out that the commentary keeps pointing out the difference between the speed and technique of the light heavyweight division. They really set it up. Lightning Kid's quickness is amazing. He escapes holds with his athleticism and begins firing back with kicks, chops, and bursts of offense. Yeah. One of the most impressive parts of the match is how physical the two become, with both men trading shots and looking like they are fighting they look like it counts. It's great. The action continues to escalate. Lightning Kid delivers a spectacular spinning side suplex while Lynn answers with incredible counters and high-risk offense. Lynn knocks Kid off the top apron with a drop kick that follows up by diving through the ropes, which, again, you did not see at that time, Keith. Like, I think Sting did it a couple times, but you didn't see it that often. Yeah. The crowd is completely invested as the match moves outside. Lightning Kid gets his own impressive comeback, lifting Lynn and dropping him face first onto the apron before using the interview set as part of the fight. He climbs to the top rope and he freaking dives onto Lynn on the stage area, which was fucking amazing.
Yep.
Back inside, both men continue trading counters. Lightning Kid locks in a surfboard-style submission while Lynn responds with a brutal head scissors that sends Kid crashing to the mat. Lynn hits a flying clothesline, but Kid catches him with an incredible hot shot counter. I always loved the hot shot when it was done right. Steve Austin never did it good.
All right.
The finish, however, takes some of the shine off the match. Lightning Kid goes for a top rope attack, but accidentally hits the referee with the official down. Kid grabs something from his trunks, and a la Ronnie Garvin uses it against Lynn before covering for the 3 count. After all the incredible athletics, the cheap finish to me felt predictable and doesn't quite match the quality of the match. Your winner and new GWF light heavyweight champion is the Lightning Kid. Post-match, the Lightning Kid is questioned about his tactics after winning the championship. The interview gives him credit for his incredible athletic ability, but questions the need for cheating. Lightning Kid immediately turns defensive and arrogant, denying any wrongdoing, insulting the interview. Was it Craig Johnson? I can't remember who the interviewer was.
Yeah.
He claims that he doesn't need anyone's approval and says he has forgotten more about wrestling than Craig Johnson will ever know.
Yeah, which I thought was so funny.
So overall, for me, good historical match that showcases 2 of the biggest future stars we'll see. Great chemistry, great athleticism. It feels way ahead of its time. The only real drawback to me is the finish, which doesn't live up to the incredible action, I thought. I gave it 3 stars. Now, they do get a rematch much later down the line in December of 1991, where Lynn actually beats him in a 2 out of 3 falls match. So, but yeah, you got to remember, this is what month was this? This was in. Hang on, I got to go back.
Yeah, it's
July. I think it's July, and he doesn't win and so Jerry Lynn doesn't win the title until December, and Lightning Kid loses it once before then to Chaz. So that's the match for me. I was gonna go 3.5, but I hated the finish and I went 3 1/4. That's probably too low, but it's a great match though. Great match for syndicated TV in 1991.
3.5 sounds right.
I went lower because of the finish. I was going to go 3.5.
Okay. The low.
You can go 3.5. Listen, I can see 3.5 too.
You know what? It's kind of weird that like 2 tournament finals within the same year.
Are you talking about it the same?
Oh yeah, kind of and screwy. That kind of is,
I hate that.
It's really funny. I went to an independent wrestling show this weekend, and they had like 3 matches. All the matches were good, but the endings were kind of like meh. And I was like, "What a fucking booking decision!" Like 3 matches.
Why aren't you booking chaotic? You haven't tried?
I haven't been. It was chaotic. I was at, but I was like, I was kind of really disappointed with the finishes of the 3 of the matches.
Do you know the bookers and everything there?
Yeah.
No? Oh, okay.
I mean, I know them. I know them enough to be like,
weasel your way in there.
Nah, you know what? I think I told you this before. Like, in the land of carnies, like it would be like I'd have to like buy my way in to being like on the committee or even part of the
call you
like
Keithy Rhodes.
But that's the thing is like I even said I was like I just want to do commentary, man. Like I don't even want to be part of the show. I just want to call the matches.
Are they taped?
They're not taped, but they do air on YouTube and like Twitch and stuff. Yeah, like oh yeah. And dude, like you could see me because I'm in like the front row.
So all their shows are on YouTube?
Absolutely. Yeah.
Oh wow.
You should watch it. The fucking company's great. Dude, the company's great. I say it all the time that they're probably like one of the best independent companies in the fucking
And that's where Carmelo came from, right?
Yeah, and they're fantastic. They're fantastic. Right. Them post-COVID is second to none. But even when they were doing COVID, they were filming everything like at their training facility. Obviously, it was closed. It was like a closed set or whatever, but they kept everything going during COVID. Like they kept just filming and airing like their shows. I think at the time, they were on Twitch, but now they air everything on YouTube. And you can go back and watch you can go back and see like Tommaso Ciampa and because they'll air some of their older shows and stuff. So
wow. Very cool. Very cool.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
All right. So you went 3.5. I went 3 1/4. So good match. Like definitely the best match we watched out of the global tonight.
I liked when Jerry Lynn does the drop kick on the kid and he goes all the way down to the floor.
But but Lightning Kid was good. Well ahead of his time. Well ahead of his time.
Absolutely.
All right. So that closed out this episode of Global. So we gave you the finals and quasi semifinal finals of the GWF. On our next 0.5 episode, we're going to look at the GWF tag team title finals and the TV title finals. So
now I forget. You give us a sneak preview of Hands Is He Proper or no?
I do not because I do know what I'm doing now.
Okay. Well, don't say that.
Huh?
Don't tease it.
Don't tease it.
Just tease the 0.5. Don't tease the.
All right. Proper. I won't tease the 0.5. The proper one will be good though.
Yeah.
It might be centered around Starrcade.
God.
I'll leave it at that. Might be centered around Starrcade.
Is it going to be the Skywalkers? Are we going to watch scaffolding matches?
No. You got to remember it's got to be Zybyszko and Garvin in it. Remember?
Oh, that's right.
It'll be centered around Starrcade.
The Skyfold would be a good. The sky. No, what are they? Scaffold matches would be good. I don't think
Garvin or Zybyszko are ever.
No, but just to watch the one where Jim Cornette falls and Bossman's supposed to catch him.
No, they're gonna be Starrcade matches featuring Larry and.
God.
Spoiler alert! It might be Larry Zybyszko versus Eric Bischoff.
I was gonna say, I'm like, when the fuck did Zybyszko ever wrestle at
Starrcade? He was at a 6-man at 87 too.
Can we watch the 6-man? Don't make me watch
the Freebirds. He was in a 6-man match. Who did he team up with? I think he teamed up with Eddie Gilbert and somebody else against the Freebirds and Sting.
Ooh.
So Starrcade 87. So Larry's been in, I think, 2 Starrcades. Ron Garvin has also been in.
Please don't make me watch Bischoff and Zybyszko. Please. I just got through telling you how much I enjoy Larry now. Don't force me to watch a fucking NWO era match with Larry as an announcer.
From what I recall, that was a very hot feud at the time. So
from what you recall, that match was probably doo-doo dog shit. So
I think I remember liking it quite a bit. Because I hated the NWO. I thought the NWO gimmick was garbage. I hated it. Hogan ruined it for me.
All right.
Keith, before we go, anything you would like to plug?
Please listen to everything that we do here on the Backbone Wrestling Network. You can listen to all of our shows on YouTube, on our YouTube channel.
Yeah, and shout out to Colin McDougall who runs that channel for us.
Because I mean it's some people that I know that have like YouTube Premium that they don't have to pay for commercials and stuff like that. Like you can binge all of our shows while you like work, and
we're approaching like 600 episodes at this point.
Yeah. So that's a good thing to do is listen to our YouTube channel. And you can also comment on all our shows as well. And we do we do check those comments out, and I'm a big fan of reading out the comments. So, but and of course, speaking of comments, you can listen to and comment on GFA Live that I do with Petey Winson, and that's Sean's favorite show on the on Pete's
outside of Backbone. That is my favorite show.
Yes. So, and then and oh, you know what? I would be remiss if I didn't mention the Jenny Position show, Exposition, because the #1 X-Man pod on the North South Connection Podcast Network
on every 6 months.
Yes, but we're gonna be doing X-Men Origins Wolverine soon, and a
brand new X-Men season 2 just started.
And of course, with X-Men 97 season 2 coming out, we're gonna be talking about that soon too. So yeah,
it's good stuff. I do want to pimp a couple other things. Hey, by the way, when are you gonna have that other one? Take It Easy with Keithy. Like,
you know what? I actually Ben Zanny he gave me the information for an independent wrestler that he's friendly with in his area, and I have to contact the guy. I have to connect with him, but I'm going to do that soon, and then hopefully I have a couple. See, like the funny thing is I could always get somebody from like the Chaotic Show, which is not a bad thing.
Why don't we go to WrestleCon and try to get somebody?
We should. I would love to. Love to. Are you kidding me? That would be my fucking dream. Like I had talked to Ben, and Ben had kind of told me that like he said he could probably get me in touch with Barry Windham, and I was like, believe me, it would be. I'd be over the moon,
dude. I would totally sit on there with. I would love.
I would be over the moon to interview Barry Windham or to interview anybody that's like a pro. But one of the things that I love is I love talking to people that are like coming up because you get them right before they break through and become massive. And it's like, I always want to think of myself as one day I talk to a guy who is now main eventing WrestleMania. You know what I mean? Like that's kind of a big deal for me.
But dude, don't turn down Barry Windham.
No, obviously not. You know who I should have, you know what? Friday, fucking Richard Holiday was there. And I should have asked.
You should have talked to him because there's rumors he's joining WWF.
Yeah, I should have seen if I could have booked him. I bet you
he's in GCW a lot too. So
yeah, and I guess he was mentioned on Cody's podcast that Cody did with Matt Cardona.
He was,
and I went, you were on Matt Cardona. I go, you were on the podcast with Cody. He goes, no. He goes, Cody. He goes, Matt mentioned me. I went, oh,
you talked to him.
Yeah, no, I talked to him. I told him how awesome he is. I love Rich Holiday. And one of the things that I think I don't know if I told you this or not, but like he had posted something recently about not going up to independent guys and girls and asking them like when they're going to break through to like WWE or AEW.
No, that's a terrible question. Yeah, that's terrible.
He said, because you know what, we're professionals and this is our livelihood. And like, we consider ourselves victors doing this. And I don't think Rich Holiday has another job. Like, I think he's a professional wrestler. Like, that's how he makes his living. And, granted, not everybody's like that on the independent scene. But, again, I'll go back on this. I think Cody made it. I think Cody and then Matt Cardona made it so that they didn't have to friggin' suckle at the teat of AEW or WWE to be famous and to do something and be successful. I think these guys and girls can travel around the country and travel around the world and do their skill and get paid for it. So,
I agree. I agree. Well, cool. And then I want to pill Meltzer. Listen, the Meltzer pod's great. If you like listening to me and Keith recap matches and talk wrestling, you got to listen to Meltzer Knows Best because
we're not pimping Meltzer. We're pimping
We're pimping Meltzer Knows Best, our pod. We're not pimping Meltzer because I believe the majority of the time that we've watched matches, and I think we've done 8 episodes now, the most of the time we disagree with him on 5-star matches.
Pretty much.
But there are a couple times we've gotten into it or disagreed on matches. But it's also cool for me, and I don't know about you, and I think it is for you too, because we're kind of watching matches that in a million years we never thought we would have watched. Like a lot of the Japan matches, I never would have thought I would watch. That banger of a women's match are so cool matches.
Yeah.
But it's really a cool match. It's just a cool pod to have 4 of us just sit down, watch a wrestling match. Is it 5 stars? And just dissect it. And it's a lot of fun. The other fun is Keithy speaking Japanese. Is also a good headwind for people to hear.
I have done a fair job announcing these people.
No, Keithy's done a very good job, but the pre-recording schizophrenia Keith has about being nervous about pronouncing them, that should really go into the show too. But you have done an amazing job. Now, on our next set of tapings, we have a match from Mexico where. Oh. Let alone, I don't think I could tell you who they were because they're all in masks and I couldn't figure out, let alone what their fucking names were, and I had to look it all up to figure it out.
Yeah, that's not going to work.
Yeah, that match. So good luck, Logan, because I know you're not doing that one. So Logan's doing the commentary on
No, and I feel terrible because, and I think it would already have aired by the time you listen to this. I mean, it's an 80-something minute long match, and like Logan
don't spoil anything. Don't spoil
all right.
It is an 80-minute match, though. Don't spoil the match.
Yeah.
Because I really look forward to our takes on that match because I think it's going to be fun to talk about. So anyway, that's it for this episode of Hands of Z 27.5. We will see you on the next episode of Hands of Z proper number 28.
This tournament, the man standing to my left had the television title in hand. Now, with the North American Heavyweight Champion, he is the Patriot.
Well, you know, guys, I've always prided myself on doing things the right way. Being honest and working hard and giving a man a fair chance. Just like I tried to give Al Perez a fair chance. Tried to give him the benefit of the doubt to make sure things were done the right way. But evidently, Mr. Perez, you don't appreciate it. And I tell you what, you want to resort to such things as attacking me from behind. But you know what? Us as Americans, we're used to things like that. It's happened before. And we know how to respond. And we know how to fight back. And we know how to take matters into our own hands. And I realize I've taken on a great responsibility with this belt. Being the North American champion. A lot of people want it. But I tell you what, Al Perez, you've got first chance, man. Right here it is. It's mine. If you're man enough to take it, come get it. May the best man win.
That's exactly fair, Patriot. Congratulations on the victory and on being a sportsman and giving Al Perez another shot at the title. What's next for you? You're television champion and you're the North American champion. What are you going to do about that situation?
Well, I guess that'll be up to the powers to be in the GWF. Whether or not they want to let me represent them with two different belts. But I tell you what, no matter what they decide, I promise you one thing. With the help of all these other Patriots, we'll represent them in a great way.
Congratulations to you, ladies and gentlemen, the North American Heavyweight Champion and the television champion, the Patriot. For Joe Pedicino and Bonnie Blackstone, along with Scott Hudson, I'm Craig Johnson. Thanks for being with us. Take a look at the final moments of that match as the Lightning Kid, I'm sure he will deny it, but you see him going into the trunks, and there he gets the pinfall. James Beard comes over and counts the fall. Let's see if we can get the Lightning Kid over to have a few words with us. He's right now mouthing with the fans. Well, ladies and gentlemen, here he is, the Global Wrestling Federation light heavyweight champion, the Lightning Kid. I have to give you credit. You are an incredible aerial artist, but why do you have to use such tactics to win the championship? What tactics are those? What tactics are you talking about? You don't need to give me any credit anyhow. Who are you? What do you know? I've forgotten more about wrestling than you ever know.
Lightning Kid, you certainly are a talented man in the ring, but we obviously saw you put your hands in your trunks, pull something out, and knock Jerry Lynn flat on his back.
Plain and simple, I adjusted my tights, you know. They're a little bit loose on me because I've been on a diet so I could get down to the right weight for the light heavyweight tournament, you know.
Well, there you go, Greg. Claiming that it was a loose tight that he had to adjust.
I would never lie. I'm a man of honor, I'm a man of integrity, I would never lie. Well, as much integrity as the man has, you have to give him credit. He is the new Global Wrestling Federation light heavyweight champion, the Lightning Kid. For Joe Pedicino, Bonnie Blackstone, and Scott Hudson, I'm Craig Johnson. We'll see you next time when we have the tag team tournament. But for right now, this man has the light heavyweight gold, as painted as it may be.
I grew up a South Carolina fan. I grew up in a house of South Carolina fans. My granddad, my brother, my dad's brothers, my dad, my uncles, they all attended the University of South Carolina. So when it came time to make a decision on where I was going to attend college, the scholarship that I was going to accept and where I was going to play college football, it was pretty easy for me. I knew I was going to be a Gamecock. So in 1980, I accepted a scholarship to attend the University of South Carolina. That's when the Trooper came along, and that's when the idea for the character came along. So I had the Smokey the Bear hat, the belt, the ticket book, and the little plastic badges that I would hand out as I was going to the ring.
He said, Bill Eady and I want to talk to you. And he said, we've got an idea. He said, we want to see if you'd be interested in doing it. So I walked over there, and they had this costume box, and they pulled a set of red, white, and blue tights out of it. They pulled a red, white, and blue mask out, a red, white, and blue cape, and a smokestack hat, an Uncle Sam smokestack hat. And he said, there's a guy in Georgia that just works some, outlaw shots and independent shows, and he's doing a character called the Patriot. And he said, we think it's something that we can really make a big character. We can really, do something with it. They saw the tapes of the shows from Global, and I had gotten bigger. I had gotten, I looked better. I worked better. I had just matured in the business, man. I was no different than anybody else. But the more I worked, the better I got, and the more experience I had, the more ring time I had, the better I got. They liked the character. They saw that I had improved and got, become a better worker, and so they invited me to come back over. Those guys had called me and approached me about coming to work for them, and I was ready to get out of Japan. I was ready to get back to the States and spend more time in the States. And we set up an appointment, and I went to Atlanta and sat down with Eric and walked out with a contract, a 3-year deal. And he immediately threw me right there in the angle with Brett. So it was a good move for me. And I'll tell you what, it was a good angle. It was it was something that we worked for several months. Worked across Canada with it. It was a good angle and a good little run we had there with that deal. I know in this business that it's a lot of the times we think that we're the ones that are special and we're the ones that are the important ones, but without them, there's not us. There's no Patriot without somebody to buy a ticket to go watch him. Without the people that will take their hard-earned money and purchase a ticket and allow us the opportunity to entertain them, to come in their homes on TV, a debt of gratitude, a sincere thank you. Thank you for support. Thank you for remembering. Just thank you for letting me be a part of your life.